isn't depths of deepest Devon, in the Plymouth, the Jannerville, as we like to call it down here. Now, it's been a bit of a palaver tonight getting everything ready for this. I've been having some real problems with my Droid cam, which is this one here. That's recording all the worky bits. So hopefully we've got that fixed. This is kind of like a all or nothing thing, so we will soon find out. But without further ado, let's get on with tonight's episode of Jannerhammer 40k. You can see I've been hard at work on my opening credits, but like I say, I've been learning so much about Blender. Very addictive, I will say that. Very addictive. But before we get on with Gaunt's Ghosts, just one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Some of you may be familiar with these. Relatively recent purchase. I've been after some of these for a while. I finally got the opportunity to buy them recently, and they're exactly what they say on the tin. These are for Army Painter paints. You pop them in take the dispenser nozzle off, pop them in there, and it makes it a damn sight easier to mix. Any of you who've used Army Painters paints will know that they are very pigment heavy, and they do mix. They do need quite a lot of mixing sometimes. For those of you who used to sit out paints, they can be a bit of a culture shock, as they were for me the first time I used them. But like I say, these are very getting some very good write-ups. I've seen loads of people raving about them and how good they are. So I'm going to get some of these in the paint soon, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, sorry, that's back there. So tonight we're going to look a bit more at Gaunt's Ghost. So we've got the last two chaps to build tonight. We've got Try Again Bragg, he of the autocannon that will hit at least once a turn, and Scout Sergeant Owen McCall, I believe that's pronounced. So let's get on with this, shall we? Okay, so we're going to do Bragg first and see how he gets on. So yeah, for those of you who might have seen the news recently, there obviously been quite a tragic incident in Plymouth last week. The gunman killing 5 people and then himself, and injuring 2 others, I think was the news. So it's been quite busy down here. It's not the sort of thing you normally expect to happen down here. So there's a lot of work going on with the communities. Our local MP's been involved. So hopefully everyone's going to get the support they need. But like I say, it's not been very pleasant down here of late. But like I say, it's one of those, they say it seems to be not just healthcare we're imitating America in. But anyway, on to more pleasant topics. I don't know if anyone's managed to pre-order Kill Team. I can't because I'm poor, and it's I'm not that bothered, to be honest. I don't get a chance to play. If I had it, I wouldn't get a chance to play it as often as I'd like to really think about justifying it. It looks like an interesting game. Basically Necromunda, but with 40k races rather than gangers. But like I say, it'll be interesting to see how that. Say, it's certainly something I would think about getting if I have the money. And I am almost certainly going to be buying a box of Deathcore when they're actually released, which they almost certainly will be, because the workshop is many things, but stupid is not one of them. But this guy, Try Again Bragg, has can't quite remember how the rule works. I'll have to have a look it up in it. But essentially, if he doesn't cause any damage with his autocannon, he can basically keep shooting it till he hits something. And considering the autocannon is damage 2, I think, potentially quite nasty. I did see back when the set was first released, I did see something on I can't remember if it was Bell of Lost Souls or Spiky Bits about someone saying that you could potentially just use the guy, just throw his frag grenades constantly, and the rules as written, he could just throw an infinite number of frag grenades, but I can't see that lasting very long in the first tournament. But quite frankly, whilst it might be fun to do, not really very sporting, is it? To be honest. So I say I've never played in a tournament. I've only ever played. I believe the term is friendly games. So I wouldn't know. Played in an X-Wing tournament once, twice. That was fun. Very different style of game, X-Wing. But oh, mind the headset down. But like I say, I got rid of my X-Wing stuff to buy Necromunda, and I never got around to playing it. And I think part of the reason I never got around to playing Necromunda, ironically enough, was because, as I said before, the detail on the miniatures. It took so long to build them. I just kind of like I couldn't maintain my interest, and there wasn't a particularly active scene at the time down here. But hey ho, we live and learn. We live and learn. I've still got the box, and I've still got. I will say that I've still got all my scenery. I've got two lots of scenery from the original Necromunda. So, like I say, that has turned up in quite a few 40k games I've played. But, yeah, see, that's seriously finding a balance between the amount of scenery in your games can be quite important. You don't want too much, so you certainly don't want too little, but too much can be, as I say, is often just as bad, if not worse, than too little. So if you can't get your tanks through or whatever, it's like you can have all the Lehman Russes in the world, but if you can't get them under a gantry to actually shoot at someone, then what's the point? I hope this one is not going to be as difficult to assemble as the last one. But, I'll be interested to say if any of you have played in any tournaments. I'll be interested in hearing your experiences. I've got a lot of. I've got plans. I want to play 40k once this whole great unpleasantness finishes. Because as I say, I do like 40k. I have for a long time. And the best thing is these days, there's so many more options for playing. When I was first getting into the hobby, if you wanted to play a game of 40k, you either had to use your house or get a space at the workshop, and that was quite difficult to do. But now it's a lot easier. There's a lot more. Options for you. Oh dear, and the camera's frozen again. Right, sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what happened there and why the camera froze, but I think we've got it fixed now. As I say, I have been having real problems with this this evening, so like I say, it's taken me an hour to get it into even some semblance of working. So hopefully it's not going to go again on us, so I shall have to keep a very close eye on that. But as I was saying, yeah, I'd be interested to know your experience in tournaments. To say it's a gameplay style I've not had a huge amount of say experience with. But, let's have a look. So, any of you actually use the ghosts in a game yet? As I say, they've not been out that long. I suppose we'd have having polycement handy, wouldn't it? Next question is, am I going to have to set fire to it to get the glue out. Let's find out, shall we? Right, so it's another one with the knife attaches. Right, moment of truth. How am I going to have to get the match out? Nope. That looks like it's okay. Now where to put the dagger? Right. They don't know, make these things fiddly these days, don't they? It's, so I did buy my 8-year-old daughter some one of the Get painting sets. Age of Sigma, the grave things. Can't remember what they're called. Undead things, whites or something like that. She did not. She kind of gave up after a while because she found the detail a bit too fiddly on them, which is fair enough. And I think this is a, kind of like a problem the workshop may be having at the moment. They've kind of like gone all out on detail, but it does have a knock-on, which means the kits aren't always as accessible for beginners as you might want. I know you've got like the push fit ones and stuff like that, but like I say, but even then, like I say, there's times when you just want to be able to get your box set that you just dropped 125 something quid on, and get on and play your game. and I do sometimes wonder if the workshop's missing, as I say. The problem is that like the push fit miniatures don't tend to be in the box sets, and I do wonder if the box sets are aimed more at the experienced gamers than they are the beginner. Where's his head gone? Now, slightly off topic, not that I ever do that, but I did see, I think again it was on either Bell of Lost Souls or Spiky Bits today, that they're doing a Nerf pulse rifle from the Aliens film, which I just think is an inspired idea. My friend and I spent absolutely hours playing Alien 3 the gun at various different arcades over the years. And it's like the pulse rifle is an absolutely iconic, iconic weapon. And seeing in this, I must admit, if I was any good at building things like that, I would have totally built myself one. But I am useless at that, as you've seen from my attempts to build things with actual instructions, the last few weeks. But like I say, I'd love to build something like that. I'd love to say, and it works out to about $90, so it's about 70 odd pounds, not including shipping. But that might be quite nice. But like I say, maybe if I make any money off the unlikely event I ever make any money off this, you never know. But I tell you what, if I do get one, it'll be I will absolutely do an unboxing video for you guys. But, any of you got any kind of like prop recreations? I had a sonic screwdriver once. I had two actually. I had a 10th Doctor and an 11th Doctor one. Although the way things are now, which Doctor's which? I mean, I suppose it's probably better, more accurate to say I had a David Tennant and a Matt Smith one, as I say. Who knows with the changes to the Doctor's backstory in the last series, which is an interesting way to do it. It does neatly circumvent, neatly circumvents the issue of how many regenerations the Doctor's got left. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. But anyway, I believe it's Jodie Whittaker's last series this year, so that, which is a shame because I quite liked her, but alas, 'tis not to be. But, so hopefully we'll get a just a replacement who's just as good. I will say, I said about Peter Capaldi, the stories. So it's you can have, no matter who you've got playing the Doctor, if the writing's not good, then doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter one bit. But I think is it Chris Chibnall is running the show these days, and I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with it. I say I've enjoyed Doctor Who. I've always enjoyed Doctor Who. Ever since the days of watching John Pertwee era repeats on children's BBC of a Sunday morning. I think the first one I ever saw was the Sea Devils, and then I had an uncle who got, can't remember which one it was. It was the Pertwee one with the um, time traveling Daleks, which I know doesn't narrow it down particularly well, but I'll have to check that in a minute. I'll put a thing down the bottom when I've finished. When I render this, I'll put a thing down the bottom to tell you which one it is. But I quite enjoyed that one. But yeah, there's quite a few. Ah, my God, this one's got an alternate head. I didn't realise that. Pay attention, 007. But, oh look, and a dagger. Is this a dagger I see before me? Out, damn spot, eh? But, yeah. God dear me. Just gone midnight. I was not intending to be up this late, but sadly, my wife's just started a job working nights, so I've got the time. My job I do during the day. It's not particularly taxing, so it's not too bad. I'm gonna finish this video in a minute and then see about getting to bed. I might possibly have something to eat first, but see how I feel. God knows I could stand to lose a few pounds. The Emperor, I should say, knows, I suppose. No room for the flabby in the armies of the Emperor. Da da dee dee. Once I've got these guys done, as I say, I've got some assassins, some third-party assassins to paint up, which is going to be interesting because they've got a very different method of. They've got a very different method. They are attached to the. So it's not really a sprue, is it? It's the support for the 3D printing, but they've got a very different method of attachment, and got to soak them in warm water. I think it was. I was reading the instructions the other day. It's going to be interesting. Be a new experience. Every day is a school day, as they say. I must admit, I'm pondering investing in. I don't know if they sell them individually now, but they did have a what they call a mold line removal tool. It might be. I might well be investing in the near future. We'll see. We'll see. Right. How do you go together then, my boy? Right. So. Do. swear it's like poly cement, or it's going up possibly the most irritating aspect of this hobby. I was trying to explain slaughter. Oh, careful! I was trying to explain slaughter bases to someone the other day. Can't remember who. That was a blast from the past back in the Warhammer days before Age of Sigmar. Gosh, it's, oops, oh dear. That's ending up on the floor. Bear with me a moment. Right, let's try that again, shall we? I'm trying to find a bit of grey plastic on a dark grey floor. Not nice. Right, so let's kind of go in. God, this is fiddly, isn't it? It would help if I was actually looking at the right bloody model. Ugh, well done, Darren. Well done. Here's me looking at the other dudes and wondering why the knife isn't looking right. What I will say to you guys, I hope you're worth it and I get a chance to actually play with you. Do you know what would also help? I think it would actually help I had some actual poly cement on the miniature. I think I need some more poly cement in the not just in future. So it does annoy me that how gummed up. I switched to this one from my usual gravel one in the hopes that it would not get as gummed up, but alas, it was not to be. So I know it's a problem that all poly cement suffers from, really. So I don't believe there's any way around it, but nearly done. I've got the las carbine across the back. And there, that is Gaunt Ghosts, all present and accounted for. And that is me signing off for this evening at midnight on Wednesday morning, which is not when I was intending to finish this. But like I say, enjoy. I hope you enjoy the video, and please like and subscribe.